you. We're gonna take over the world.
March 16th, 2026 at 5 p.m. If you would, please stand and join me in a prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. Please pray with me. Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you, Father, for the city of Clewiston, Lord, its citizens, Lord, just all the employees and those that run this city. We just speak your blessings. We speak your watch over us, Father. We thank you today as we make decisions. They'll be the best decision, that you will lead us and guide us into the best decisions that will prosper and just take our city further to the next level. And we thank you for that. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the
Flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Madam Clerk, if you would do the roll call.
Commissioner Williams.
Here.
Commissioner Edmonds.
Here.
Commissioner Gardner.
Here.
Vice Mayor Heislow.
Here.
Mayor Pittman.
Here.
City Manager Williams.
Here.
And City Attorney Tuck.
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right, any changes, additions to the agenda?
No changes, Mayor.
All right. At this time, we'll hear public comments from anyone. If you would come to the microphone and state your name and address. Seeing no movement, we will move on to presentations. Tetra Tech. Lynn Mila.
Make a quick introduction. So about 18 months ago, the city awarded a contract to Tetra Tech to start our design for our wastewater plant expansion. And Danny Nelson is here today. He's the project manager for Tetra Tech to give the commission an update, let y'all know how the project's going to date. So by way of introduction, Danny is a vice president of Tetra Tech. During his 30 years with Tetra Tech, his primary focus has been assisting government agencies with utility infrastructure improvements. He is a Hendry County native and still resides in the county. He is a graduate of LaBelle High School and achieved his engineering degree with assistance from U.S. Sugar through a valedictorian scholarship.
Nice.
That was just, I'm local and not just the stiff engineer. So, so I asked our experts to put this together. So I know enough about wastewater and water to be dangerous. So I asked our experts to put this together, and it had all of these formulas and everything else. And I said, yeah, I can't do that. So I made it more Danny friendly. So this is what we're going to go over. Just basically what your plan is now, factors that are leading to why you need to do this, and then I'm going to end with schedule and funding, and I'll have one slide in there if you haven't seen it already. That'll probably scare everybody, and that's the cost. So first we'll just get into what you have now. I don't know if everybody has been to the plant before, but south of Harlem. It's a 1.5 MGD, and as we know, it's gone over capacity, and Danny and his group have worked to get that flow down, but you're still right at capacity. So by law, you actually have to do this expansion regardless, unless you weren't going to add any more, customers to your system. So your existing treatment plant, and there's the overview on the right-hand side and just some of the breakdown, but I don't know which is the pointer? Okay, so maybe. Oh, it won't show up on the screen. All right, so if you see where it says pre-treatment structure, that's where everything comes in, and from there it splits and goes through the 2 oxidation ditches, goes through the biological process. From the biological process, the effluent from that goes to the clarifiers, and what it does is it allows the solids to settle, and then the effluent comes off the top, and it flows to the chlorine contact chambers where it's disinfected, and then it goes out to your your spray fields ultimately, and you have a secondary surface water discharge. So you've got 2 oxidation ditches. They're quite old at this point. They do need some work. There will be some improvements on that and some new oxidation ditches that come. It's considered what in the biological world is an extended aeration treatment plant. What that actually means is it's good at removing BOD, which is your food source, and suspended solids and some ammonia, but what it's not good at is nutrient removal. And why I actually bring that up is you guys probably know that you are within the BMAP for Lake Okeechobee. The BMAP for Lake Okeechobee, as well as other BMAPs throughout the state, have said that any wastewater treatment plant that produces reclaimed water must actually move to advanced wastewater treatment levels. And I'll tell you what that means in a moment, but it's basically a nutrient removal. So why that actually matters is, we know algal blooms, things like that, eutrophication, oxygen depletion, just things that go towards our degrading of Lake Okeechobee and Clewiston River and those sort of things. So your current permit requirement, it has limited requirements currently for those nutrient removals, but because of the BMAP, those will actually be required to be increased. So what AWT is, so this is a typical treatment process. You have to remove some level of BOD. Your plant, I believe, is required to reduce BOD to 20 parts per million, your TSS, I believe, to 5, and there's no requirement for nitrogen or phosphorus. AWT requires you to get that BOD from the 20 down to 5, suspended solids down to 5, and your nitrogen and your phosphorus from down to 3 and 1. And those are the 2 that are more of the challenge. The others are fairly easy to deal with. The challenge, though, with the oxidation ditch and that it's essentially extended aeration, it's just not set up to do that the way that it is. So you can't complete those denitrification and phosphorus removal processes. So on the top is essentially what you have now. The flow comes into the oxidation ditch where it moves around in a circular pattern, and then ultimately that flow comes off of that into the secondary clarifier. The waste-activated sludge comes out the bottom. It's returned to the front of the plant, or it's actually wasted and then removed off-site. And then you have your reclaimed water, your effluent. So what the bottom is more in line with what the treatment design will be. You still have the oxidation ditch, but you're adding a lot of other stuff in there with anaerobic and at the end with coagulation for phosphorus removal. So it's a lot more intricate and a lot more involved for the operators as well, and of course energy, more expensive. All of these things they add up. Thank you, state. So just kind of breaking that down in tabular form, what I went over a minute ago, the 5531. In those stages, what that process was that I showed you is called a 5-stage BART info. So starts out with that fermenting stage, anaerobic, anoxic, then bringing oxygen back in, removing that oxygen, and then re-aerating it, and then going to clarifiers, and then going to filters, which you don't have currently, and then going to high-level disinfection, and then out to your system. So yes, adding more cost. This is essentially what the primary treatment process would look like. So that fermenting stage on the first end, and that's your anaerobic area, your anoxic after that, and then your oxidation ditch, which is where your aerobic stage or extended aeration is at, and then choking that oxygen again and then re-aerating it before it goes out.
Annie, I have a question. Is that 5-stage process our only option?
It's the easiest to operate, and it's the least expensive and most common used in Florida for this. So what you see on the right-hand side is a layout, essentially, of what the plant will look like. Your oxidation ditches will still remain. They'll still be used. They'll be upgraded. They do need some work. You'll have a new headworks, and that headworks will have screening. It'll have grit removal, so you won't have all of these items going into your plant. There'll be a splitter box then that will split the flow between the two existing ditches, the two new ditches, and then from there, your process will continue to operate like it does. So the old oxidation ditches will still go to the clarifiers, and then it'll all be reblended once the flow all comes together, and it'll go to a new chlorine contact chamber, which is on the right-hand side. And then that flow can go to it can go to your injection well, which right now you're not using that injection well, you're using your spray field. So part of our goal will be to get rid of that spray field because it's also connected to the surface water discharge, which you'll be required to remove by another law in, I think, 2032. And then we're also, the effluent will meet public access, and I know one of the things Danny wants to do is to irrigate the golf course and then make that available for other users if you have it available. So this is just kind of a quick summary. Your existing system at capacity can't meet what the new rules and requirements are, so you've got to go to that AWT, and that's essentially just what we're talking about is that 5-stage BNR process. So you will have a facility that does produce high quality effluent, which you're struggling with now with the old facilities you have, but it's going to be costly. So we've done at each stage that we're at, and we're at 90% right now. At each stage, we do a very thorough breakdown. I mean, we actually go to the level of determining how much concrete there's going to be and getting costs. So it's not just, sticking the thumb in the air and seeing. But what I will tell you is that this cost estimate is pretty in line with what we're seeing. And we use a rule of thumb, and it's around $40 a gallon is what we're seeing is the cost of treatment plants to be built. And I was looking at like the last 4 or 5 that have been designed and bid, not just that we've done, but others throughout the area. And it's been, for those that have been designed and bid through the public bid process, it's been right at $40 a gallon. We just did designed a 4 million gallon per day plant for Collier County, also nutrient removal using the BART-INFO process, and it was 160 million, so right at that. So unfortunately, to get what you've got to have to meet those rules, this is where we're looking at. So I'm going to talk about how that funding will come into play in a minute. But I first wanted to give you the schedule because it also ties into that funding. So we're looking to have 90% completed in August. It's proceeding that way right now. And then permitting in September. The funding, what we're looking at is what you'll see on the right-hand side. And you guys have used this in the past as the USDA Rural Development Funding. So it's very good funding for places like Clewiston, LaBelle, Hendry County. We've been very successful in getting up to 40% of grant, and you have grant already to supplement that. And the good news is your grant that you have now is state, so it won't count against you. If that was federal grant and you got 40%, they would take that away from you essentially. So they can't touch that grant that you have already, which is good. The downside is it takes time. And there's a lot of work that goes with that, with engineering reports that have to be submitted and reviewed, environmental reports that have to be submitted and reviewed, and it can take up to a year from what we've seen on facilities like this. That's the bad side. The good side is if you can get 40% grant, that really helps the city out and your ratepayers. So that's why we're estimating in terms of the funding, the bid and award, because it's all going to be tied into when that funding could be received. So with that, how do you fund it? Well, one way is the rate increases. The other is seeking the funding that I'm talking about. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that, specifically the USDA Rural Development. You guys use this on your water plant. I know you've used it on other things. We've done this with Hendry County back even 20 years ago. Process has changed a lot. It's all online. You think that'd be better. Doesn't seem to really help the timing. But we have specifically talked to the USDA Rural Development staff, and City of Clewiston is sitting in a very good prime, between median income and all of the factors that go into it, to be considered poverty level. Now, don't think of that as a bad thing. Think of that as a good thing, because that gets you the lowest rates and the most chance of getting those highest grants. And there aren't a lot of places that are eligible. Like I said, Clewiston, City of LaBelle, Hendry County, and we've got one small utility in Charlotte County. But outside of that, your Fort Myers, your bigger cities and counties, they don't qualify. Maybe. Okay, so that's basically everything that I've said there. In addition to, it's only available for those small rural communities. It is nice that it has a 40-year payback period. Nobody wants to pay on a loan for 40 years, but that does help keep your rates down, and the life of the facility is longer than 40 years. You'll get the lowest interest rates because they'll basically be the prime plus a very, very small percent on top of that. And like I said, it's a combination of loan and grant. Outside of that, and we have talked to the city about other options in the city's continually looking for grants. I know you've been successful in getting appropriations. State revolving fund is another avenue you could go. Now, the downside to SRF is that it's a 30-year payback period, and your chances of getting grant are lower. They do have a principal forgiveness, and that's a possibility, and I believe Woodard and Kern has looked into that, but I don't think that's going to be as good of an option as the USDA. Water infrastructure, they call it WIFIA. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but the downside to that is they fund 50 or 49% of it, and you still got to fund the other 51. So you still got to go out to SRF or somewhere else to get the rest of the funds. And then bonds, and a lot of places like bonds, a lot of places don't like bonds. So I know I went through a lot in a little bit of time, but it's progressing. If you want to see the design, it's about this thick of I think 300 pages or so of drawings, and about the same of specifications. So, any questions for me? Yes.
I have a question. I know you talk about financing for 40 years. What's the lifespan for this plant? And you said, how many homes, how many businesses will this help us grow the community?
So
by
this
expansion.
Okay, so the first part, I'll talk about the expansion. This will double your capacity. So you're currently serving the city, Harlem, and a little bit east of town. So essentially, when that development comes in to the west of town, or any infill otherwise, I don't know that this will get you to build out, but it'll be pretty close. It's going to take a while to hit that mark. In terms of the life of the plant, you're probably looking at 50 plus years of what that facility. I mean, it'll be built out of concrete. Everything will be coated well in terms of the concrete itself with the best materials in terms of coating. So the plants I've seen plants that are 80 years old. You're going to have a lot of guts that will have to be replaced.
Okay.
But,
Yeah, thank you.
anybody else?
I have one question. If we start construction in 29, I think that's what it said.
Well, I'm hoping to be done in 29.
Hoping to be
So
done.
yes, that's what
So
we're hoping.
how on the hook are we for growth in the next year? I mean, we're already at capacity. Is there penalties if we go over? What's going to happen if we grow a little bit and go over that number, that 1.7, I think it was?
So right now you're at, the last we saw, your plan is 1.5. You're around 1.47. You've been above that before. When you hit 50% capacity, so when you are at 750,000, you're required to, there's a requirement by rule that you've got to start preparing capacity analysis reports. Right now, when you do a treatment plant operating permit renewal, you're required every 5 years to do a capacity analysis report. When you hit 50%, I believe you got to start doing those annually. And when you hit 75%, you've actually got to have a plan in place to do this. So to answer your question, you can't go above your capacity, but you have gone above your capacity. And I'm sure there is a penalty, and it's probably a consent order, and nobody likes those words. There is a possibility, and I don't know the reality of this happening, but you could look at re-rating the plant, and can you get more treatment out of that? I think that's going to be a challenge, and it's going to be a challenge because right now, I'll go back a little bit.
Don't you think, Danny, that a surge tank where we can control the flows?
That's where I was
I
going
think that's
with.
where we're going to be, and that's what we're thinking, because we do have that spare tank, and it wouldn't cost us that much. I think we could actually do it in-house the way it's set up, but do that surge tank so we control, and plus it'll help our treatment.
Right now, if you go out and look at your effluent, it's not the prettiest compared to other plants, and that's largely because what Danny's saying is when you get your surge of flow that comes in early morning, late in the evening, when everybody's showering and doing all of that, that flow has to go through the plant. There's no way to dampen that. So what Danny's talking about, so what you'll see the flow equalization tank, this new plant will have that ability to dampen it. What Danny's talking about is where the 4 squares are. A lot of that is not being used, if any of it's being used. You're using a little bit for your digester, I believe.
Yep.
But you could take what Danny's talking about and convert that, add aeration into it, bring flow in, and it wouldn't take a whole lot, and I think you would help that out. So then we could look at that point, can we re-rate the plant? So if you might be able to buy some more capacity with that.
I have one more question.
Yep.
It's been a while since I've been down there. How many miles south of town is that plant? 2 miles? A mile?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's within a half mile of
1.5
Harlem.
miles? Okay, from
Yeah.
town. 1.5 miles from where?
It's within a half mile of Harlem, so then, and
Okay.
it's not too
Mile
far
maybe,
from
yeah,
the,
yeah,
yeah,
okay.
maybe.
I was just curious. So as far as our lines and everything, there's no need for us to do anything to prepare other than for new development?
Right,
basically.
you've already done some things. So you've upgraded your master pump station. You've put, I believe, the force main in from that pump station to the plant. So you've done some of that infrastructure already. So I think you'll be fine there. Anything else?
Very good, thank you.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
And with that, I'm gonna exit.
More than welcome. You can stay if you like.
It's going to be fun.
Okay, next is the consent agenda. I'd like to pull number 5 and talk about it. Anyone else?
I'd like to pull number 9 to discuss.
Okay, number 5, number 9, anyone else? Okay, we'll entertain a motion to pass.
So moved.
Motion by Highslope. Second by Williams. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Need Glenn, I think.
Can we-
Number Manning, we can do number 9.
Number 9, I asked for it to be pulled because there's 2 applicants in that number 9, but from my understanding, we have to appoint 1,
Yes.
okay? Instead of just accepting both of them, is my understanding. And I did call Mr. Simmerly to verify that today, and he says we just need 1 appointment from the city of Clewiston. So that's why I didn't want to, just to make sure I understood it correctly and that's what we need to do tonight. So for number 9, let me get to it.
Page 157. 157.
Okay.
Got to figure it out.
And what I did do is I did ask about the qualifications of somebody for us to appoint in the city of Clewiston. And I was told that there's not a residency requirement for our appointee. And so because I noticed that both of the applicants live outside the city limits, although one applicant does have a business in town and pays taxes in town. So in reviewing that, I took that into consideration. So I don't know if anybody else has any other questions about that before I make a motion.
I have to recuse myself from that vote.
Okay.
Yeah, both applicants I thought were fine, but if you have a preference.
Yeah,
anyone else?
I do because of the fact that there's, one of the applicants has a business in town. So I will make a motion to accept the application and appoint David Ryan Edmonds to the Area Housing Board on behalf of the city of Clewiston.
Okay,
Second.
motion by Gardner, second by Highslope. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Well,
opposed?
Don't
Motion
include mine.
Motion carries. Yes,
It's a habit.
Commissioner Edmonds abstains. Okay. Get back over here to, I pulled item 5, Lynn, just so you could explain the changing in the Manning document and the position that you're asking for.
So I spoke with Kaylee about this, and she recommended, because we don't actually have the process spelled out for making the changes to the Manning document, that it would be best to bring it to the board and discuss it. We have a full-time position at the warehouse right now, and it's more than I think a one full-time position can manage. There's a lot of purchasing procedures and processes that our technician does now, but we've also got to do the inventory control out on the floor. And there's a lot of material that comes in every day, and, inventorying it and getting it on the shelves and keeping up with what the crews need and everything. It's a lot. So what the thinking is that we make that position that there's now from a technician to a specialist and have them focus on the procurement side of things, making sure that we're compliant with the ordinance, our blanket POs, more of the administrative kind of side of things. And then that person would also manage a part-time inventory kind of position. We're looking at a part-time person, they would not be paid benefits at about $18 an hour. So if Tony stays at his current rate and we added this part-time position over the next 6 months, we're looking at about an $8,000 impact to that budget. But I think it's needed now to create the position for not only the fall budget, but because we don't have 2 people there, we don't have a staffing that we need when one is out, when Tony's out. It makes sense to have this person brought in, not only to fill that gap, but also to sort of bring them into the warehouse and have them become more familiar, so that if we do need a successor to Tony, we're bringing somebody along instead of bringing somebody in cold, which has been pretty much what's happened the last 2 or 3 times.
So the position that's vacant is under Public Works, Maintenance, what's the name of that?
So the
position?
warehouse typically is under the Public Works Department. And that's where the purchasing technician, I think is his title right now, is where his staffing is. So we would be adding the technician position within Public Works.
Do we have an updated, this must be an old classification sheet I have. It says December of 21.
We
Is
got a
that the one
20.
you're working off of?
No. You should have one, October 2023.
Okay, yeah, because I'd like to see that. I mean, I'm not going to hold up your position you're asking for, but 'cause I think there's other.
It's like we might have what you're asking
Yeah.
for.
Oh, okay. You were ready.
Good deal.
Thank you, sir. You're welcome. This is the most updated one you guys did in October of 2023. You're welcome.
Oops, no, that was me.
I got it, man.
Okay.
Good deal, dude.
So we have the position for the maintenance technician. We just don't have it for the specialist, and you're changing the job descriptions.
Yeah, way down,
Stand by
Sorry.
the door, Lynn.
at the very bottom of page 3.
Oh, I see.
You see warehouse tech.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah,
So we
there
do
it is.
have both of them. It's just, okay.
Yeah, we just, the maintenance technician actually is another position that's unrelated to the warehouse, but tonight, this resolution will create a warehouse specialist,
Okay.
which would be,
Technician.
and the technician would drop, he would still be an 11 grade, but a part-time position at $18.
Not eliminate it completely, but just. kind of-
Yes, we're just, there's a job description, I think, in the package that would kind of delineate what the two roles are. And,
Got it.
and it
So
would,
you're not adding one and taking one away?
no, we're adding the specialist who would be more on the procurement side and a manager of this technician position.
But then cutting the tech position to
To
part-time.
part-time, yeah. So the financial impact is about $8,000 for that part-time person. But if we can create the position, get them on board and, develop them, then I think it would be good.
Okay. Any other discussion or questions? We entertain a motion.
I'll motion that we approve resolution 2026-13.
Second.
Motion by Highslope, second by Gardner. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we'll move on to item 11, the consideration and approval of the revised library card registration and circulation policy.
I think we
Ashley,
have
you wanna come
Natasha
up?
here.
You said we're doing the meeting room policy?
That was under the consent.
It was in the
Oh,
consent.
So this is the library card.
Good evening, everyone. Natasha Hayes, Library Director. This is just a revision to this policy that was put in place. All we did was update the charges or the fines associated with the prints, non-resident cards, and the scans and faxes that we do at the library. So we were only charging 15 cents per page for black and white copies, and that's increased now to 25 cents. We brought our non-resident card fees in line with other surrounding counties and library cooperatives. And the faxes and scans, we were charging $3 a first page and $1 each additional page. And I was thinking, there's only going to one place, and we're paying, for the one service. So we lowered that to $2 per incident. So that's the only changes we've made here.
All right. Any further discussion? I'll entertain a motion.
A motion that we approve,
Well, I must-
I've lost it.
The revised library card registration and
The rev-
circulation policy.
There you go. That, the revised library card registration and circulation policy.
Second.
Okay, motion by Highslope, second by Gardner. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Before you step away, I just want to tell you that I still think that the library does an excellent job.
Thank
I
you
think
so
it's
much.
a great asset to our community. So thank you for all the work that you put in there.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Friday night
Do you have brochures for Friends of the Library?
I do not have them on me, but we did reprint them Saturday at Sugarfest. We were very busy. We had a very successful
Good.
raffle and book sale. I believe it was around $5,300 was raised. So that was a
Nice.
blessing.
Fantastic.
I saw somebody want a new Kindle. I was
Yes,
talking about it
yes.
online, so that's exciting.
I had a lot of great prizes.
You guys do a really good job.
Thank
And you advertise it well, like not just the events, you advertise the library well. And I appreciate it.
We try. So
Good
let us
job.
know if we need to do anything else or hear anything. We'll be glad to, implement it. So
Right.
have a great staff, that's for sure.
All right,
Thank
thank you,
you.
Natasha. Okay, item 12 is ordinance 2026-01. I I'll read it by title. It's an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Clewiston, Florida, amending the Clewiston Code of Ordinance, Chapter 110, zoning, amending Article 5, districts and district regulations, providing for codification, severability, and an effective date. This was the side setback that we changed from 7.5 feet to 5 feet. I'll declare the public hearing open. If anyone from the public would like to make any comments. Seeing no movement, any staff? All right, any commission comments or discussion? A motion by Edmonds,
Second.
second by Highslope. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item 13 is ordinance 2026-02. Got to get to the page. I'll read that by title. Ordinance number 2026-02, an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Clewiston, Florida, amending the Clewiston Code of Ordinance, Chapter 62, streets, sidewalks, and certain public places, amending Article 4, public parks, providing for codification, severability, and an effective date. I think the main change in this ordinance was to allow to charge fees.
So it's to allow you all to pass fees by resolution, and it's also to allow you all to incorporate an agreement to use the public parks and public spaces, so we can have insurance requirements, the fees available and things like that. So it allows you to do all of those things.
Even though now we have an application to use facilities, but not all facilities.
Correct.
Okay. So there is a public hearing. If anyone from the audience would like to speak, please come to the microphone. Seeing no movement, any questions or comments by the commission? The only thing I would like to see is our current, obviously, we would be the ones to put the fees in, but maybe at the next meeting, a current, or maybe you could email it during the week, just our current fees that we're already charging for, the auditorium is always the big one, but even for our, I think our little gazebos we charge for, am I correct?
They're all on the City of Clewiston webpage.
Yeah, if you could just send out a current fee structure, and then maybe even what you're wanting to charge in other areas we're not charging. I think maybe y'all even had a rec board meeting, and I think y'all might be discussing that even now, so.
I'm sorry, Jeannie, did you say it's on the website?
Yes, ma'am.
It's on the website, but you guys have already made the decision at the rec board? On the, not yet? Okay. Making changes, I just wanted to make sure I was clear. We have fees in place, and we're going to be looking at making some changes and recommendations.
So I think, as she explained, it's pretty much not, it's fees in general to everybody. Not that we're trying to make changes to it. It's just to charge, essentially, because it's never been passed, and we've been charging. So essentially, we shouldn't have been charging because it's never been a passed ordinance. It's just been happening, right? And numbers came from wherever. But from our rec board meeting, they did say that previously, maybe like 2 years ago, they did discuss on numbers, and that's how those came into what's on the City of Clewiston webpage now. That wasn't presented to you guys. I don't know about that, but essentially, those numbers we're not trying to change. Anything we're trying to add now is just for the ball fields, and that we're going to discuss more Thursday at our meeting.
Well, according to this, right now, there's no charges, because we just passed this ordinance, so we can't charge for anything until we come back and approve it by resolution.
So we did some digging when this initially came up, and we looked for some ordinances and resolutions that you all may have on the books that would have given some teeth to this. And what we found was that there are courtesy fees that could be charged. For example, when they were charging for paint and things like that, you can charge for that without really having an ordinance in place or a resolution in place for those user fees. But when it comes to a user fee, for example, just a standard rental fee, then we suggest having this in place.
Because we are fixing to pass this, I think, will all those previous fees go away and we have to reinstate them by resolution?
I would suggest reinstating those because the way you all have the code set up, which I think is a great setup, by the way, is you have the taxes and fees in Appendix A, and that has all of the taxes and fees that the city charges. Right now, there are no current public park rental fees in there, and I think the expectation for city residents is that it would be in there, so I suggest passing it by resolution just to codify that in the code.
I know we have been charging for like gazebos and for the parks. I mean, we've been doing that for years, and I thought we had passed something years ago, so, and even for the use of the fields, for like tournaments and things like that. So, good, I'm glad the rec board is looking at it.
Okay, any further discussion?
Make a motion to approve ordinance number 2026-02.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. So just to be clear, a little further discussion, for instance, the Little League, Soccer League, right now, they won't be charged anything until it's brought back to the commission?
I think they were already charging them. We were already charging them, but we just didn't have anything in place that says that we could. We were just charging them already. Putting this in place just solidifies that yes, we are going to charge you, and it's set in stone that we're charging.
But the amount has to be set by us, the commission.
Right.
Okay. I just want to be clear because I know there was, one year they thought they were charged, one year they were charged. I've just heard a lot of discussion on it, and I just want it to be clear, so Little League season starts up, they know it's this much per game, per season, however the charge is going to be. And same thing for AYSO and anyone else that uses the facilities. Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Jeannie, you said the meeting's Thursday? Yes, ma'am. This Thursday at what time? 4 o'clock. Just wanted, in case anybody's interested from the nonprofits to be here. Thank you.
Okay. We are to staff comments.
Yeah, speaking of CRA, we have 2 positions available for the Community Redevelopment Advisory Board. So if anybody's interested or if you know anybody, they definitely get some support and some help. They love to complain, but they don't want to come help. But anyway, we also have a vacant spot in the Planning and Zoning Board. That's a good board to get on. And then also we have a Firefighter Pension Board, 1 vacant spot. So if you know of anybody, please let them know. And then, we do have it online, correct? They are posted. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I'm good.
I think one thing online, looking at our job postings, is we don't put a salary range. Our pay matrix is not on there, and I see a lot of other cities put it on there. I don't know if that helps or doesn't help to have it on there, so.
Well, all of those are advisory board.
Right,
Yeah.
they're volunteers.
Well, somebody, no,
Yeah, it's
Let's
not
be
free,
clear. They're paying zero.
no, I'm talking about a different,
No, I understand.
Fair.
so might be something we want to consider. And I would put it on there.
We've expanded. We're getting applicants, like for Randy's job. We actually put it in the League of Cities. So, we've expanded again. We've got 4 applicants right now, but we'll leave it up for a little bit. And again, I think Randy's online. He's not going anywhere till we get what we need.
I think that's
I tell you,
great
I'm going
that
to be
it was
honest with you.
posted like
Randy
that.
has set a standard, I feel personally, it's going to be hard to beat. This guy, when he hit the ground running, found things that we didn't touch. I mean, the money sitting out there with 0 interest earnings, it was pretty lackadaisical, I think, in the past, not to pay attention to our funds. And he's moved money, he's made money, and he's done great. He caught on very fast. Again, like I say, I think it's going to be hard to replace Randy Maxson.
CPA too, so
CPA,
that helps.
yeah.
Is he for sure leaving?
No, he'll stay until whatever happens. I mean, he's good. I
We
mean,
just
he's
got to get
working
somebody
behind
that's a
it.
go-getter like
But he's
him.
not here in the office.
Yeah, he comes. He's here. He comes. Yeah. So he's
Still full-time?
right now, yes, but that'll taper off. So, but he's not going anywhere until we get situated, and I'm very thankful for that. I mean, it's a
Good.
crucial position, and
Very
like I said,
crucial.
he's done very well for us.
I appreciate the budget process he instilled.
Yep.
That was
And
good.
by the, we're going to start. Tico, you're first tomorrow.
On that position note, and you saying that you advertised it with the Florida League of Cities,
Yep.
I think that's a good sign, but I think that the mayor's idea of putting our salary ranges with it, I think that's also a very good idea, because in looking at the emails that we've received over the last couple weeks regarding benefits and, looking at Lynn's, position and Randy's position, in most cases, we are paying competitively.
Oh, yeah.
And our benefits
We've really changed.
our benefits are great when you look at the comparison to the county and the school board, and we're right in line, we're right on par with where we need to be, is what I'm getting at. So I think it's something that we do need to tout when we're trying to recruit someone.
Well, and just for anyone listening, finance director, the pay grade there is up to 96,877 on this Manning document in 2023, so it's probably needs to be bumped up a little from there since it's 3 years old. So,
I think he has, Mayor, yeah.
well, no, I mean, that's,
Yeah, no, I understand that document,
I
yeah.
think we need to maybe go over this, and maybe when your staff gets time, like you don't have anything to do.
Well, I
Probably need to
know that
present
every
us with a
budget
new-
cycle, we look at the salaries, so that's included in the budget, whatever the current salaries are that have been recommended. Those are definitely in the budget documents per position.
Yeah, but we do need to upgrade. Okay, anything else, Dan?
No, I'm good, thank you.
City attorney?
Nothing to report. Glad to be back.
All right.
For how long?
About time.
For how long?
A couple weeks.
It's not like Francesca missed
Borrowed
you or
time.
anything,
We still talk daily.
but it's different when you're here.
Okay, we'll start at the other end. Commissioner Gardner?
Yes. What a great weekend we had here in the city of Clewiston. It was fantastic. And I know that the Sugar Festival Committee works very hard and accomplished many things. But there is no doubt that under the leadership of our city manager, Danny Williams, and his trusty volunteer wife, Libby, and each of the directors, and what y'all did to put this together this last weekend was amazing. I think that it gave an opportunity not only for people from out of town to come visit us and see us, but also it gave a great opportunity to showcase, what we're proud of, our farming community, and even our fishing community. I know with the walk, lots of people went up to the lake and to see the lake on the Lake Okeechobee Scenic Trail, which I thought was fantastic. But I think also that it's not only just about drawing people here to listen to music, it's also about our nonprofits in the community. It is a fantastic weekend for them to raise funds. As Natasha said, the Friends of the Library did overwhelmingly great this past weekend. And the opportunity came because it was a Friday and a Saturday, Friday night and a Saturday event. And the Rotary Club with its barbecue on Friday, and just everything, all the churches that were out on Saturday, and just the other nonprofits that were there. It's a lot of work. And Danny, I thank you and your staff for making sure it got done, and that, people today said, we can't believe it. We came here on Sunday and everything looked like it had not even been a festival because it was so cleaned up. And it was just the logistics of it all. I thank Danny and his directors and the staff for what they did. It was an amazing weekend. So we celebrate Clewiston by what happened this weekend.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you all.
You guys did a great job, absolutely.
Okay, Vice Mayor Heislow?
I will echo what Commissioner Gardner said. The festival was great, and I think that that it continues to be so great because it's a unique event. It has the festival committee, then you have the partnership with the city, you have the partnership with U.S. Sugar, and the other sponsors that that the festival solicits. I think that the support that the city provides the festival is a huge factor in why it's able to be so successful. whether that's Jeannie serving, on the festival committee or through her role as Parks and Rec director here with the city. I think a lot of people wear a lot of hats when it comes to the festival. So I do want to thank the festival committee and the city itself and our staff and the city manager and our trusty volunteer, volunteer of the year. So it was exciting. It was an exciting day. It's always a good weekend. The breakdown is mind-boggling how quickly that takes place, and it feels as if it never happened. Something else that I would like to touch on briefly, if we can, is the upcoming CRA workshop, the one that's being held on, I believe it's the 25th and the 26th. Is that correct? At the John Boy. I'm going to ask Mr. Cooper if he or Ms. Almazan, somebody will come up and tell not us, but tell the public a little bit about the CRA workshop, what to expect, because I think it's such an important moment.
So
for
the
the city.
CRA is, we're going to go through what it is. There's a lot of confusion as to what the
Yep.
CRA even is. Just in digging through it, Leslie and I have discovered what an incredible tool it is for our municipality. And we all have a vision of what we want Clewiston to look like and what we want it to be. And the CRA is a tool to get us there if we can learn to utilize it correctly. We're going to structure it in the way that the people need. We're actually going to hand the microphone to the people, and we're going to restructure this for you. Tell us how you want it to look. So we want public participation as much as possible. We've gone door to door to some of the local businesses here in town. We still have some more to do, but we want as much public participation as possible. Everybody's quick to say, oh, well, they should have done this or they should have done that. Well, come tell they how to do it, because we want to structure it for you. And then as soon as we get through the process of doing this workshop, then taking it to the CRA board, and then taking it to you guys for a second reading, we want to hit the ground running and start to do some stuff with some of the funds that are available to the people here in the CRA district. So it's going to be pretty informative. I'm hoping for a lot of public participation. So far, it's not looking good. We haven't had a whole lot of people respond to our surveys, but hopefully they're just, last of the party, but they show up. So we're excited.
And Chris, when was that again, just to state the date? and the
Next
time?
Wednesday and Thursday, so it's the 25th and 26th.
Are they, I don't want it to intimidate people. It says that it's from 9 to 3. Are these all-day events, or are they like come and go events?
It's probably going to be structured as a come and go
Okay.
event.
I don't want that to deter, because somebody might be like, what?
I wanted longer
Absolutely not.
and longer.
Absolutely
I
not.
wanted from
No.
9 to 8 at night. I'm
Required
joking.
attendance,
5
like,
days.
we're gonna set a cop at the door, you can't leave.
But I took a step back, listened to you guys. Y'all said that's a little bit too aggressive. The 241-page CRA document that was drafted in 2005, the first 50 pages says where Clewiston is coming up short. And then after that, it comes in 5-phase plan on how to fix it. And we took a step back and I said, let's just get through phase 1 and 2 in this workshop. And then once we start to round up on the end of 2, we'll have another one, and then we'll address 3, 4, and 5, hopefully with some excitement from the public. So that's kind of how we're going to attack it. We're going to go after phase 1 and 2. There's everything in here. We've gone to other CRAs. We went to Boynton Beach. We're going to Belglade soon. There's another one that we wanted to go to. Boynton Beach laughed at us whenever we walked in because we told them where our CRA was, and they said that's exactly where we were when we were handed the CRA. They just finished a $13.4 million project with their CRA funding. So it's got a lot of potential. I know we have a lot of growth coming to the city of Clewiston, but I've heard a lot of people that want to keep it small. So we have an opportunity to get big, but keep it small in our downtown district if we can utilize the CRA appropriately. So we're learning, but we do want as much public participation as possible. I've sat on boards in Pop Warner and Little League and soccer, and everybody's quick to say, oh, well, they should have done this. Then go be they. Go be a part of it. Go join in. So that's kind of what we want in this. We want people to get involved, tell us how to use your money, essentially. This is their money that they pay into taxes, and then we're using it to grow the businesses and grow the city, but still keep that small town feel in our CRA district.
I think this is a great opportunity for our residents and probably most importantly, our business community to come out and be a part of this. So have you worked with the chamber at all?
We have gone over and talked to Brenda. Brenda is spreading our survey that we made. Leslie and Lorraine worked really hard. We have 2 QR codes. I couldn't even imagine how to create one of those, but one of them that takes us to our survey and the other one that takes you to an RSVP. Right now we have 5 responses, 3 of them in-house where we were practicing. So, so we're wanting more participation than what we've gotten. But, and I told people, come mad, come angry, and tell me what we're doing wrong. I can't fix it if you don't tell me.
Feedback is feedback.
I'm a big enough boy that I can handle some angry. So come angry, come happy, just come tell me how I can help you.
Get some little
How-
signs that say free and stick them on the side of the road out there. Show up. Free information.
Is
when we
serving
get
like
there.
donuts or anything like that? Like,
Serving ice.
Just
ices.
free. No other word. Just free.
right, get
Just
that
free.
snow cone. Get that snow cone truck.
Hey, another quick question. Have you had any more applicants for the facade grant?
No, sir. No, we haven't had anybody yet. I
Have
think
we worked
that,
on any at all?
we actually scrapped a pile of them that were the application after having gone through it with Kaylee and myself and Leslie and Francesca, that the application was wrong. Nothing on the application was correct. So for us to grant money per that application, we would be violating our own laws. So I didn't mind being the bad guy, and I called all the applicants and I said, I'm so sorry, but we can't do anything with this. So a couple of them, we did proceed because I thought that it was unfair to let them get as far as they did into the process and then snatch the carpet underneath them, out from underneath them, which I explained that to you guys when we voted on the couple that we did vote on. But if the money is going to pass through my hands, it's going to be right. And I already told Danny I would not be involved if it's not going to be done correctly. So we're going to go back. Some of the dollars, all of the dollars, were designed from numbers in 2005. You could redo your roof for $60 a square in 2005. That same roof costs $700 a square today. So we need to address some of the numbers. Boynton Beach does a tier system for their grants. So there's tier 1 that's up to $50,000 grant. There's tier 2 that's up to $15,000 grant. There's tier 3 that's or 25 and then 15. I would like to see something like that set up. I don't think that $7,000 is enough to do anything for a business owner.
Right.
There's nothing that you can do today with $7,000. Whereas $50,000, we could actually see something get done. One of the biggest things is earning the people's trust, letting them know you can trust us. Come talk to us. This is not a scam. It's your money. We want to help you. So that's kind of the approach that we're taking. We're going door to door and shaking hands and talking to people. And a lot of them make a paper airplane and hit us in the back of the head with the survey when we leave, but at least we talk to them.
I think that's where you have to start. I mean, I think that's the best way to start.
Right.
You know, I mean, I asked about the chamber, and I'm glad that you went and talked to Brenda, because that's another just way of kind of legitimizing the survey itself and the meeting, you know, the
Right.
upcoming meeting. But it's not enough, you know, for Brenda to be sending out emails on y'all's behalf. Like, I think that's great
Right.
that you've gone to the businesses.
Well, and we looked at it. If you were to get an email that said Clewiston CRA, it would probably go to your spam. And if it didn't, you would probably just delete it with all the other red dots in your email box.
Yeah.
If we were to mail you something, you would probably open it, see that it wasn't a bill, and put it in the trash. But if we actually come and talk to you and shake your hand and look you in the eye and have a conversation with you, I felt like that was the best way to get interaction with them.
Mm-hmm.
Even if that's all the interaction that we got, at least I can come tell you that I had a business owner tell me this, at least I got to talk to him. If I didn't go to him, I wouldn't even know what he had to say.
Unfortunately, I think the rule is you have to touch somebody 7 times for them to remember. So,
All right, we're gonna loop back.
7 times, it's a lot.
Just pop it in one more time, all right?
All right.
This is number 6.
Yeah.
More.
All right.
No, we want to do, and we're not scared of work. We're not scared of
Yeah.
pounding the sand to get it done. But I think that this is an incredible tool if we use it. So
Okay.
All right,
if you know
sounds
anybody
good.
that owns a business, tell them to come see us.
And I have one more thing.
Yes.
And that is, I want to ask Jeannie, how long has the rec board been instituted? Do you know? Anybody?
We've been, well, this time, it's
Yeah.
Well, okay,
Probably
so
what, 3 or
current,
4
the
years?
current
The current?
The current one, I think, has been 2 years.
2 years. I'm not able to be at the meeting on Thursday, but if you would relay my thanks to them, I think that they have helped our rec department, by extension, you and, prior to you, whoever was in that seat, whether it was Lauren or Ashley, I think that they have helped tremendously with ideas and with actual work. And I just want you to relay my thanks.
I will.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Jeannie. And I'm
okay.
finished.
Commissioner Williams?
Nothing from you? Did you pass over? You were skipping Barbara? All right. we're good.
Well, we're going to the end.
All right. Yes, Sugar Festival was good. Like I know everybody saw the police presence at the festival, but it's also what they did outside of the festival too, guys. Still responding to calls, still taking care of stuff outside the festival.
Yeah, they did.
I saw the same guy pass out at least 3 times before the fire department was like, go home. So they were busy out there. I know the fire department was nonstop, the police department nonstop. So, I mean, big ups to you guys. Like 25,000 people here, plus the residents, that we're also taking care of. So I appreciate that. Other than that, I thought it was a huge success. I came up at probably probably about 650. And the workers that were up there already snatching the stuff down, I mean, by the boatloads, they were already up there taking it down. I mean, there was people taking plants too, but they were also taking the construction down, and it was...
Taking or stealing?
I think they were giving them away, so they were taking. So it was really good. I did talk to a lot of the people the following day, and everybody said it was the most non-standing room that we've had to date. Chairs from the stage to the tents, from the tents to the road. There was really no standing room to get up and dance. It was packed, and it was a good event. There wasn't a lot of idiocracy either. I didn't see a bunch of people stammering all over and puking. Like, it was a good event. So I look forward to the next one already, and I do not want to be on the Sugar Festival Committee board because, geez, they're some workers, and big ups to them. So
Yeah.
go for it.
Ribbons?
I thought the city staff, everybody did a fantastic job. I know from personal experience, being on the Sugar Festival Committee, it's a lot of work. And I didn't hear about any incidents at all, so I thought it was pretty great. I don't even have a clue exactly how many people were there, but I know it was crowded.
You'll know tomorrow.
Wow, I'd be interested in that number because there was more there than I've ever seen there. But anyway, it was great. My family came down or came up, and I got to visit with them, and the music was good. So, but I didn't hear of any incidents at all.
Well, I concur. I agree. That's great, awesome festival and city, U.S. Sugar working together. Great job. The only other thing I had was if you have an update on the Lake Okeechobee waterfront. We talked about it at the last meeting.
Chris and I talked about it. We haven't really gotten back. No, it's on our radar, though.
So I'd like to get an answer because that's grant money
Yeah.
so far, and I don't know. No, one of our big things, we were waiting on the bridge to get done. Well, the bridge is done, and
Also waiting on the dedication. Of course, these guys can't make a decision.
You're
But-
here, you're not here.
Hey,
You're going back, you're not going back, we don't know.
hey, I could probably put them in the picture, though.
Yeah. In today's world, we could. Kind of like he sent me the little picture of the dogs.
Oh, yeah, did you
They
guys see the
showed up.
dogs up there with Nico Moon? Fantastic stuff.
Our little pack of dogs.
Which I saw them, I saw them Sunday afternoon. They were all over at Trinidad
That's
Park.
where she lives.
Yeah.
The
My
lady
wife said, "Oh,
lives
look, there's the pack of dogs." I said, "Yeah, 863 pound puppies, man.
Yep.
That's where they're at."
Jason doesn't even call animal control.
No,
I don't blame
they
you.
all had collars on. I was like, "All right, you're back home." I did hear that the lady lived at Trinidad, and I
She
did see him
does.
at Trinidad. So I was like, "Look, they made it back."
That's so funny.
It's amazing they don't get run over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're out
I
on the
can't believe they
street
made
all
it
the
over
time.
by my place.
Oh, they went on a trip.
They hit the whole
Saturday.
town. Yeah.
They visited
Field
everywhere.
trip.
Social.
All right, if there's nothing else, a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right, we're adjourned.